Welcome to the Conflict Zone, a channel dedicated to informing about major conflict points around the world. In this video, we'll discuss the recent Ukrainian assault on Russia's Kursk Oblast. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay updated with all our latest news. According to multiple sources, the Ukrainian military advanced more than 10 kilometers into Russian territory. What is Ukraine's intention with this action? On Tuesday, August 6th, approximately 1,000 Ukrainian soldiers, supported by 20 combat vehicles and at least 11 armored units, crossed into the Kursk region from Ukraine. They attacked and destroyed several border posts on the Russian side, rapidly advancing along two main routes, towards Guevo, passing through the suburbs of Sudzha, and towards Lyubimovka, passing through Obukovka. The swift movements of the troops and the dynamic nature of the events make it difficult to determine exactly how many towns and villages have been taken by Ukrainian forces. Some reports suggest that at least a dozen Russian localities are now within the area of Ukrainian control. The governor of Kursk Oblast, Alexei Smirnov, stated that hundreds of people have been evacuated from areas near the Ukrainian border, and a state of emergency has been declared in the region to facilitate a military response. Videos and images circulating online show numerous Ukrainian military vehicles on Russian roads, with explosions visible up to 12 kilometers from the Ukrainian border, corroborating information from local sources. There are also many videos showing dozens of Russian soldiers surrendering as the Ukrainian forces advance. On Wednesday, August 7th, during an extraordinary session of Russia's Security Council, Vladimir Putin accused Ukraine of provocation. He stated that he has prioritized halting the Ukrainian advance, and Valery Gerasimov, the chief of the Russian General Staff, assured Putin that Russian forces in Kursk have managed to stop the Ukrainian invasion. However, Gerasimov did not provide updated details on the current positions of the Russian and Ukrainian forces in Kursk. By Thursday, August 8th, maps showed some changes, with various sources reporting a northern advance, passing through Malaya Lochnia and confirming the breach of two significant defensive lines that Russia had been strengthening since 2022. However, no official information is available on the exact locations of the Russian and Ukrainian forces within Kursk. But what is Ukraine's objective with this invasion? Is Kyiv attempting to annex portions of Russian territory? It's important to note that this is not the first time Ukrainian forces have entered Russia. Since February 2022, there have been at least 3 significant incursions, all led by pro-Ukrainian, anti-Putin Russian forces, such as the Russian Volunteer Corps, formed in August 2022 by ex-Russian military personnel opposed to Putin's rule. This group participated in attacks on the Russian Bryansk Oblast in March 2023 and on Belgorod in May of the same year. The May action also involved another Russian unit, the Freedom of Russia Legion. Now, in 2024, these units have launched attacks again, this time spreading over a larger area, including Belgorod, Kursk, and areas in Kharkiv still under Russian occupation. These attacks took place between March and April and included a new Russian unit, the Siberian Battalion, raising the number of pro-Ukrainian Russian battalion-level units fighting alongside Kyiv to 3. It is still unclear exactly which units are involved in the current assault on Kursk Oblast, which began on August 6th, but it is highly likely that these Russian units are participating, possibly reinforced by Chechen, Polish, and Georgian units. The goal of these assaults, including the current one, is not to annex Russian territory. Doing so would require weakening the various active defensive fronts within Ukraine. The objective seems to be to provoke Russia and force Putin to divert attention and resources by withdrawing forces from Ukraine to reinforce areas within Russian territory. Any military action involving the invasion of Russian territory is capable of igniting fury throughout the Kremlin. There is also the risk of losing strategically positioned weapon and ammunition depots along the Ukrainian border. The entry of soldiers and armored vehicles into Russia from Ukraine is seen as a significant humiliation for Putin and his much-vaunted military power, as it demonstrates an inability to effectively protect the border. Putin also appears to be showing the world that he has no reserve forces, implying that most of Russia's military might is currently tied up in Ukraine, with what's left being insufficient to prevent a small number of vehicles and armored units from breaching the border. Therefore, Ukraine does not have a major strategic objective with these assaults. The Ukrainians are not aiming to conquer, occupy and maintain control over villages and towns within Russia. Instead, they want to provoke and irritate Putin, forcing him to weaken active sectors in Ukraine to reinforce Russia's interior. They also aim to demonstrate to the world that Russian military forces are almost entirely focused on the invasion, leaving very little for essential tasks such as border defense. This suggests that, as with the previous assaults on Belgorod, Bryansk and Kharkiv, the ongoing assault in Kursk is likely to last only a few more days, just long enough for Putin to withdraw forces from the invasion and send them to the area under attack, thereby weakening some sectors and easing the defensive efforts of Ukrainian forces on the ground. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure to do so and hit the notification bell to stay updated with the latest news. See you in the next video.